Okay. Hi, I'm Jerome Singletary, actually, and welcome to Positive, the series. I'm Jerome Singletary. I'm your host, and I'm doing things a little different. I'm kind of running rogue because I don't have my producer, but I'm a producer. I got a whole master's degree, so you know, I got this great computer in my hand, so I might as well use it. So I'm here today because, as you all know, I am HIV positive, and I've been trying to live my life out loud, to share a bit of my experience with the world, because we don't really have enough of an understanding of what it is to live with HIV/AIDS. You look in those magazines and you see all that foolishness about people climbing up to the mountaintops and twirling 3 times on the dance floor. Well, I can tell you that that isn't everybody's experience. It certainly isn't my experience. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my experience right now. I just had a hip replacement. My left hip is crushed because, as a result of the HIV, I developed something called avascular necrosis, which is a disease that causes the joints within the bones of your body to die. Necrosis, bone, that's death. And that has happened to my right knee thus far, which has forced me to have a knee replacement. And it has also happened in my left and right hip. I had the left hip in January of 2019. By the way, today is April the 9th of 2019. I have summarily been in the hospital since November 2018, pretty much, with, a week here, 4 days there. I've been out of the hospital now since March 17th, which is this is the longest period of time that I've been out of the hospital since Thanksgiving of 2018. Just to give you some perspective. And I'm sure if you look at me, though I look a little bit tired, I don't think I'm wearing illness. I'm not wearing sickness on my face. It doesn't show up in my countenance. And I thank God above for that, because it's only due to his mercy and grace that I'm still sitting here today. But it was incumbent upon me to come to you today and talk, at the insistence of a dear friend. Thank you, Nicole. Because I'm having a rough day today. So, I'll give you a little background real quick. I was talking about the avascular necrosis, which forced me to have a hip replacement back in January. And everybody said, "Oh, it's going to be a piece of cake. You're going to go in on Friday. They'll send you home on Saturday. You just start walking on Monday. You'll be fine." Ah, well, I went for that surgery on Friday, January 25th. On Sunday, January 27th, the area was hot and burning. I was back in the OR on Monday, the 28th, because they found that it was infected. That caused me to have to stay at Mercy for a month in rehab. I came home for 4 days. I gained 38 pounds of fluid in my lower extremities, and it put me back at Northwest Hospital for another month. Um, hmm. While I was in the hospital this last time at Northwest, I developed an umbilical hernia. Oh man, if I didn't have bad luck, I sometimes think I wouldn't have any at all. But I guess God ain't putting more on me than I can handle. But the folks at the hospital said, "Oh, Jerome, don't worry." You know, and I should have thought about what they told me about. Don't worry, with the hip replacement. Oh, don't worry. The this whole business with your with your hernia, it's a in and out situation. We won't even keep you overnight, so we're not going to bother about doing that now. You'll just go. We'll give you the name of a GI specialist. You'll go in. They'll take care of it. Be no problem. No problem. So I had that appointment yesterday, Dr. Blum, over at Sinai, and I'm over there. I'm going over there. I'm happy, just feeling good, waiting to hear all the good news. And while I'm in the room to be seen, I hear all this little commotion going on out in front of the door, and I hear a lot of voices. Next thing I know, one doctor comes in, and then a second doctor comes in, then a third doctor comes in. So I'm like, what in the world? Well, everybody wants to get a look at me because my file came over, and it was 266 pages. Yeah, I'm 47. I have a 266 page dossier that follows me from hospital to hospital. The doctors came in yesterday because the nurse who brought me back told them that the man that she saw before her, it was almost a miracle. She was amazed at my strength, my countenance, my virility, my presence, because they expected, based on what was on paper, they expected to see a weak, frail, diminutive, I guess, waif of a man. I'm 238 pounds and hopefully decreasing, but I'm 5'10, 238 pounds. Diminutive would never be an adjective used to describe Jerome Singletary. There are many adjectives, but not diminutive. I just I heard all that they had to say, and basically what they told me was that even though I presented so well, um, they they were not they were not quick to take me on. Uh, my physiology report is such that, given the fact that I had the hip replacement in January, and I am scheduled to have the right hip replacement in June. Oh, yes, for those of you who didn't know, my right hip is also dead. So I'm doing both of them. Well, because I have that surgery scheduled, they said, Mr. Singletary, for you, this hernia, it's not so simple and it's not so in and out. And basically, we're telling you that if we put you on the table, there's a high risk that you're not coming off of it. Not on your own 2 feet. You'll come off of it, but it'll be feet first. And it was kind of like I got my face cracked because I immediately went my mind and I thought about Joan Rivers. I'm going to tell you why. I'm a big fan of Joan Rivers. God rest her soul. I miss her every day. I had the strongest feeling when I heard her on her little show, because I followed her. I watched her in in bed with Joan and all that. I did all the Joan Rivers stuff. I'm a Joan Rivers fan. And when she talked about the fact that she was going to have just a little thing done, I think it was, somewhere under here or whatever, I said, I just got this grave feeling that, girl, that's not a good idea. Even though you look good and you seem healthy, you're on the go, you are a woman of a certain age. I mean, she was in her mid 80s almost. You don't tempt the fates. And sure enough, she didn't make it. And so I thought about that. What I'm not going to do right now is cry, because I have cried all morning and I cried all yesterday. Because I recognize that for as much discomfort and pain as I am right now, with this nasty thing protruding from my belly button, my navel. I'm an innie, by the way, and now I am a supreme outie. And I'm not even gonna gross you out by showing it to you. But basically, I fought it and I debated it and I challenged it, everything that the doctor said. And you know what? I ultimately got them to relent. And they gave me, you see that? Well, you can't really see it, but I'm glad I grabbed it because I'm sorry for jerking you around with me. But I wanted to grab this stack of papers because I want to read something off to you folks, because after all, I have to be 100% transparent in this journey we call positive. Or I'm calling positive, I guess. Determined to remain positive. Because I am positive. And trying to live in all facets of the meaning of the word positive, beyond just its negative connotations with respect to my illness. They said to me, Mr. Singletary, here's your list of problems. Now, the first one is really odd to me because I've never heard this before. But the first one says, adjustment disorder with mixed disturbance of emotions and conduct. I'm going to have to do a little bit of investigation on that one with my primary care. AIN, which is anal intraepithelial neoplasia and canal HPV. Anal intraepithelial neoplasia, for those of you who don't know, for the non-medical doctors at home watching this, that is a cancer. I have asthma, NOS, with acute exacerbation. Asthma, NOS, without acute exacerbation. Avascular necrosis of bones, and currently of both hips. Bacterial pneumonia, unspecified. BPH, which is benign prostatic hypertrophy or enlarged prostate. Urinary retention, chest pains, NOS. I don't know what NOS means. CHF, which is congestive heart failure. Chronic kidney disease, stage 3. COPD, which is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Dehydration. I didn't even know that you could just be permanently dehydrated. And I've been pushing water. As you can see, with my U=U water bottle, I keep that full at all times and with me every day. Depression, major affective disorder, edema, elevated blood pressure without HTNDX, generalized weakness, Hepatitis C, I don't know why that's still on the list because I actually was cured of that in 2016. And then, of course, HIV/AIDS, and they had the audacity to list it twice. Huh. So basically, the doctors decided to inform me that if I really want to have this surgery, I'm going to have to run a marathon of pre-qualifying, pre-operative exam. I have to go see my cardiologist. I'm going to have to see my primary care. I'm going to have to see my ID doctor. I'm going to have to see my pulmonologist. I'm going to have to see my nephrologist. I'm going to have to see my, uh, oh my goodness, my orthopedic surgeon. And, all this within 30 days. And then if they give me a date for the hernia surgery, it would definitely affect the date for the hip replacement. My takeaway is that I guess I don't want to tempt the fates, I'm a God-fearing man, and I know that God's got me. But I've been listening to the song "God's Trying to Tell You Something," and I think He's just telling me, just get your hip replaced. You can live with this hernia. But it was hard to hear the words come out of that doctor's mouth that said, Mr. Singletary, your physiology report, based on this dossier we have in front of us, that is you, scientifically, you are an unwell man. And the likelihood of you surviving 3 surgeries in 1 year, it's not good. Probability is not on your side. And I'll be honest with you guys, in spite of everything that I've gone through, I've never really come to a point where I feel sick. And I'm not going to let that make me start feeling sick. I'm not going to let that make me start feeling sick. No, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. It's just a lot. And I guess I feel the enormity, the gravity of my situation, my circumstance. I apologize. I apologize for the tears. Because I am positive, and that speaks to my outlook. Oh yeah, Whitney Williams said, "Don't wipe your tears because it's good for your skin." But I guess there's no hope for my skin anyway. So high school and puberty and pimples pretty much destroyed any chances of Jerome having good skin. Go figure. But I am not gonna let what those doctors said to me yesterday change my countenance or redefine how I perceive myself. I'm not sitting here saying to you that I think that I'm well or that I'm so healthy, but I don't operate from a place of sickness. And I don't consider myself to be a sick man. when people ask me, I guess when I think about it, I've never even thought of myself as being unwell. But to have three doctors, not one, not two, but three people come in and tell you that they don't want to take you on because they don't think that they could guarantee your survival through a hernia operation, which everybody at Northwest said was so simple. It was in and out. But I guess if I'm judging that based on the way I received and heard the stuff about the hip, even though today the hip is great, but I went through it. That hip that was supposed to only be a 24-hour hospital stay cost me 2 months in the hospital. And it makes me wonder about what I have to look forward to in June. Huh. I, um, I just wanted to share with you, for real, that it's not always sunshine and roses. But as long as the good Lord sees fit to breathe breath in this body, I'm going to continue to be strong and to continue to be my positive, bright, warm, loving self. Because I don't know any other way to be. And I'm going to be who I am until the day he calls me home.